Thank you very much to those of you that sent me cups of coffee yesterday and PayPal donations and join me on Patreon. You can watch there for free or join in and read some of the articles that are not free. Two things I want to talk about this morning. Evidently, there was an article on Forbes. It says, "Get ready for 50 years of intense northern lights," scientists say. More intense northern lights means CMEs, solar flares, means more health effects upon people here on the earth, more earthquakes, more volcanic eruptions. Yeah, are we in the end times? Is this another sign? Yeah, what do you think? Here we have auroras that were seen in Australia on June 1st, June 3rd there in Canada, another one from last night there in Canada, British Columbia. Was this what they call Fred, or was it a rocket launch? I don't know. Yeah, the cloud cover we've had lately makes it hard. This is Deer Lodge, Montana. June 3rd, North Dakota. This is June 3rd, Maine. And California, just some of them. A paper published in Space Weather found that the sun may be on the cusp of entering a multi-decade period of intensity. Glazeberg cycle, a repeating longer-term pattern in solar activity. The CGC is a theoretical variation in the intensity of solar cycles over a century or so. Scientists look at the proton flux above the South Atlantic anomaly in the South Atlantic Ocean. I've talked about this area a few times. It's where the Earth's magnetic shield is the weakest. The protons are clearly decreasing in measurements that they attained from NOAA's Polar Operational Environmental Satellites. Calvin Adams said, who is the lead author for astrophysics students at the University of Colorado. The other evidence includes sunspots number, direct indicators of solar activity, now at their highest level in over 20 years, signaling a more turbulent and energetic sun. The CGC could also explain why solar cycle 24, which occurred between 2008 and 2009, was the weakest for 100 years. I've talked about the weakening of our Earth's magnetic field and how the activity on the sun is going to cause more and more earthquakes, health effects, volcanic eruptions. If an earthquake fault is ready to go, yeah, it would be the boost to make it erupt to rupture. These new northern lights, which normally don't impact our Earth, we normally don't see, are the result from an interplay between solar winds, a stream of charged particles constantly flowing from the sun, and the Earth's magnetic field. When energetic particles reach Earth, they enter the polar regions, colliding with atoms and molecules in the upper atmosphere, exciting them and releasing energy as green and red lights. One of the longest lasting geomagnetic storms, cycle 25, has ended. We're still at a G2 solar storm currently. The severe G4 class storm began on June 1st when a fast halo CME struck Earth's magnetic field. Immediately after the impact, auroras were photographed from Canada to the U.S. Gulf Coast. Yeah, the Gulf of America. It's possible that the last 3 solar cycles occurred during the CGC's minimum period, with the following 3 sets to occur during its maximum. That could mean solar cycle over the next 50 years or so becoming more intense. Better put your hard hats on. While the paper focused on proton fluxes, higher solar activity generally means more and more intense geomagnetic storms, an essential cause of spectacular displays of auroras. This new insight into CGCs could mean more opportunities for aurora sightings in mid-latitude regions, including the U.S. and Europe. Late last night at 7:26 p.m., There was another earthquake there by Hill City. Yeah, it's been increasing recently. It was a magnitude 2.3. Two people said they felt this earthquake. Yeah, more and more earthquakes in diverse places. Does that sound familiar? Let me know. 2 reports, intensity level 2, 11 kilometers probably west of where it occurred, which would be about 6.4, 6.5 miles. I reported how on June 1st there was a magnitude 3.5 earthquake. That one is marked in red here. It occurred at 5:26 a.m. local time at a depth of 7.3 kilometers, which was about 4.5 miles deep. That was shallow. Today's earthquake was about 5 kilometers or 3 miles. Here is today's 2.3, and here is the earthquake on the 1st, the 3.5. This 3.5 was reportedly felt in northern Kansas and southern Nebraska, including areas like Norton, Colby, and McCook. There was no reports of damage. Smaller quakes, including a 2.9, occurred on May 31st, and a 2.3 on June 3rd also occurred in the same location. You can see them all posted there. Earthquakes are relatively uncommon in this area, but it does have an underlying seismic potential. Like I said, with the activity currently going on with the sun, we're going to see more and more of this. Recent solar flares, there was a M3.3, it looks like. And then we had an M1.9. Maybe this wasn't a 3. Okay, that's right. And then we had a 1.36. And then we got some little activity going on. Here's a current image of the sun. You can see the coronal hole. Yeah, Earth facing. Yeah, and that's the area of the recent sunspots. You can see it's really active. Here we have the Solar Wind Prediction Center. We're right at the end of that long duration. It was at least 3 hours of the M8.2, I believe, solar flare. You can see the date up here for today, the 4th of June, and I'll hit play so you can watch it. Yeah, we're still seeing the effects, and then there's another one. It's going to skim by us on the 6th, it looks like, and then possibly another on the 8th. So we'll let this play through. That little green dot, that is the Earth. And you can see the date at the top. Yeah, the 6th, 7th, and 8th. So we're going to have more activity coming. More likely. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, Hill City, Kansas is not directly associated with any major earthquake faults in the way that seismic activity, regions like California are. But it is situated in a region which is considered low risk, but it has experienced earthquakes, and some which are linked to specific fault systems, indicating seismic activity from human activity. Anyways, I got different faults drawn out here. To the north west is the transcontinental fault line, and then to the east we have the Humboldt fault zone, and this is also an area that they call the Central Kansas Uplift. There is the possibility that recent earthquakes near Hill City may be caused by human activities such as wastewater injection from oil and gas operations. An example, back in 2014, there was a magnitude 4.9. Let's see if I got it here. I got a 4.6. Maybe they upgraded it. That was right there. And then, yeah, these are all the recent earthquakes. Oh, that's not 2014. That's 2019. Okay, so the 2014 earthquake, if I remember right, yeah, it was down over here. Okay, there's the 4.9. Right there. There was also, let's see, it's up over here, in 2021, a magnitude 4.3. You know, it's kind of like Ohio. There never used to be earthquakes in Ohio, and now they're getting them fairly regular. It's just amazing. Yeah, so we definitely have things going on that are changing here on our Earth. Are you prepared? And what do you think about this auroras that may be increasing here on the Earth that scientists are saying are going to continue for the next 50 years? Like I said, that means more health effects, high blood pressure, road rage. Think about all the road rage the politicians might be feeling. Yeah, the anger. Yeah, earthquakes in diverse places and volcanic eruptions. Yeah, let us know what you think. I would like to know. Yeah, what about Italy? Yeah, there's always the potential for a major disaster there in Italy. Campi Flegrei. Yeah, that would be devastating. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless y'all. Bye.